Waiting for the young leg spinner. We didn't see him in the first game. Nadeem
Insane. Only 19 years of age, and he's
hauling against his normal teammate Muhammad Amgan Khan. The first one is an absolute half tracker. That one did not come out of the fingers, and I saw him in the nets. He was bowling very well yesterday. Talked him up, and that's there's different types of Yorkers. That's a special Yorker because that's Yorked him on the second bounce. That's how short it was. But respect from the Mac, he wasn't going to give it any chances, and he played it down the ground. Let's see if he can come back here. Better delivery and rocking back onto the back foot and pushed out for a single to cover.
Yeah, Latifi's a dangerous batsman. I've seen him a few times. When he gets going, he can hit it big. It's very attacking. So good balance here for the Tigers with Muhammad Amgan Khan. A bit more correct, more sensible.
Yeah, that's well bowled. That's on a good length. Difficult to play. And actually we've got a situation here where we have two Catalonia CC batsmen and the Catalonia CC bowler on loan to other sides for the tournament. So it's a bit like a net session for Catalonia CC here as Hussain comes in again. This is shorter, hit down the ground, it's flat, one bounce, nice effort from the fielder, but he's not able to make the stop, and that's 4 runs to the Big Mac, and he's in business.
He's in business, yeah, played it well, split the two fielders there. And that's one of his favourite shots, isn't it? I mean, we watched him playing a long time. He likes to hit hard and straight. His downfall sometimes is when he tries to flick away. He seems to chip it in the air.
Hussain in again. This is a better ball. Forces him back. He'll take a single, so the score goes along to 40. And Hussain, he is capable of that magic delivery. I think that's perhaps we haven't seen the best of him just yet. Of course, he's struggling a bit with the cold fingers, but he is a prodigious turner of the ball, and I like the way he varies his pace, and he does have a few subtle variations. As Saqib will face him now, and this one is flat batted down too long off for a single. That's the end of the over, and after 4, it's 41 for 2 in match 2 of the Fan Code European Cricket Series.
Yeah, they're going away quite nicely here, 10 and over. They'll be happy with that at the moment. 100 plus is the score they'll be looking at. I think, like you said, Vinny, against Bengali, they know that they've got the bowling attack to restrict them to that. But they'll be looking for that magical over where they can really accelerate and maybe be looking at 110, 120. That would be ideal for them. And they feel that if they get to that, they should have this game in the bag.
Yeah, as we see, Hassan bin Hakim is going to come into the attack now. He bowls very well in the first match. And yeah, just think those wickets are so key for Bengali because they could have been batted out of the game by those openers the way they were going. But now they look like they may restrict Catalonia Tigers to something chaseable. This is cut away behind point by Saqib, just the single. That brings the Mac back on strike. And you said a lot about the Big Mac, Muhammad Amgan Khan. Does a lot about for cricket in Spain and a lot with young people. And I think it's fantastic that he's out here playing in this series. And this time he goes after it. This could be all the way. It's over for a Maximo. 6 runs to Muhammad Amgan Khan, the Big Mac. And that was muscled over the mid-wicket boundary. You see here, we had Bin Hakim just put out a good length. The Mac takes the bait and gets 6 of the best. This time he's a bit low, but he'll just get the single. And I think the Mac now, Rico, for me, is the key to batting the Bengali team out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Muhammad Amgan Khan do this a lot. He just settles down and he bats all the way through. And if he can bat all the way through, hitting the odd boundary, keeping the ball and the score ticking along, he's done his job, and he's just hoping that he gets support at the other end.
And again now, and this one keeps low again.
He likes that shot, doesn't he? He likes that shot.
And look, we've seen this pitch, and we talked about the wooden base, and we don't really know how it's going to play. We have seen a few balls keeping low, and so it's very dangerous to play that pull stroke on the onside across the line stroke to the ball on the stumps, because it could quite easily not bounce as high as you think, as the next ball is turned into the leg side from Big Mac for another single. We'll move along to 51, so the 50 coming up in the 5th over. Last ball of the over now. It's Bin Hakim. And Saqib goes for this one, but it's a chance. And straight through the hands and 4 runs. So a let off there
Yeah, that's young Omar, isn't it? Young Omar Ali. The technique was wrong there.
Yeah, we've seen Omar do some good work in the field, but he didn't look super confident there. He had the fingers pointing up, and I don't know if he's trying to say the sun was in his eyes, but the sun's behind him and it's cloudy anyway. But Omar Ali just wasn't able to hold on. This is so important that Bengali take these chances if they're going to challenge the Tigers in this match. Omar will be disappointed with that one, but perhaps he will make it up with the bat later on today.
Yeah, perhaps. In the meanwhile, it's Nadeem to continue. Nadeem Hussain went for 8 in his first. He's bowling to, well, who would normally be his captain, Mohammad Amgan Khan. And he'll be looking to try and keep the big Mac on the offside. He's flighted this one off and gets a bit of respect.
See, that's a good ball. See, I think that's the kind of ball where you're not sure if it's going to turn or if it's going to skid on. You don't have too much time. When it's shorter, you can kind of see how the ball's wrecked off the pitch. So it's well bowled by the youngster. Comes in again. This time it's pulled. It's a chance. It's going to bisect the fielders and go all the way for a maximo. So Mohammad Amgan Khan, we've said he likes to hit straight. That one was just a little bit shorter, Rico, and the Mac was able to pounce.
Sí, qué fuerte está, hombre. Tiene mucha fuerza. Y vale, cuando pelota es corta así, es 6 carreras más.
Yeah, 6 carreras más indeed. As this one, a little bit quicker through the air and biting off the pitch, and the Mac will take a single. And I like the composure here of the big Mac, because he's not afraid to go after the big stroke, but he's also happy to take the singles when they're on offer and just kind of wait for that opportunity to pounce.
Ooh, that's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty.
And you see there the potential of the youngster Hussain to come up with what I call the magic delivery. He's such an exciting cricketer. He's a Spanish national representative. We saw him in European Cricket League back in 2019, and he's really coming along and he's working really hard on his bowling. And we were talking yesterday about what he tries to do and with his mixing up the pace and length. And I think today, perhaps because it's his first couple of overs, hasn't quite found his control yet, but I think he could be a very dangerous bowler for Bengali as this tournament goes on if he gets it right. You can see this one here. It's just drifting in a little bit, and no real footwork there from the batsman. It went straight past the outside edge. So let's see if Hussain can close out this over. This one's too short, and it's going to get the treatment. It's over the top for a maximo, and 6 more for the Tigers. So Hussain not able to follow up that pitch of delivery with another. It was too short, and 6 more runs to the Tigers.
Yeah, Saqib Latif. It's almost like he's been waiting for that one. We've seen him dib and dally outside the off stump, and then all of a sudden he lashed onto the shorter ball. 6 runs. And he's hit this one very well as well. Volley, volley, volley. Out of the ground it goes, and that's another one. Back-to-back 6s. Ends that over. And well, flying start here. 74 for 2. 6 overs gone.
Well, Hussain will be upset with that. And one thing you can't do as a spinner, especially on these surfaces, you can't drop short because you're going to get the business. And that's exactly what...
Here, Mohammad Amgan Khan, European Cricket Series #1. He was the 3rd highest run scorer, 279 runs, strike rate of 212.97. So you can see just
good going, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see how important he is.
Same with the ball then. It's leg cutting delivery and trying to turn off the pads, but the Mac not able to make contact again. They were just skidding through, and all the players really taking time to adjust to this pitch. And every time they put the pitch down, it sometimes plays a little bit differently. So you can see Musharraf Hussain, he kind of drags his fingers on the left-hand side of the ball, trying to get a little bit of movement from right to left on your screen. He comes in again to Mohammad Amgan Khan. It's driven away to deep cover for a single. So again, I think this innings has been well placed. The way that, well paced I should say. And I think anything over 110 or so, I think it's going to take some chasing from Bengali.
So Latif, is he waiting to open up now? Gets a good swing onto that. Goes all the way along the ground just for the single.
Yeah, so it's be interesting to see what happens here as we, these games go so fast, don't they? We're only in the 7th over here, and with the score in the mid-70s, just think what they're looking at here. 3.5 overs, so probably the 120 region probably. This is flicked off the pads, go all the way down to deep square leg. Nice bit of fielding down there by Tamjid Bapari. And saves the boundary. So only a single to the Mac. And the score ticks along to 77. And Sakib Latif. Again, he's been pretty good going over to a ball here. He's got the strike rate on the Mac today, does Sakib. 21 off 10. This one straight down. Almost hits the stumps actually. But the field well positioned there, and they'll just get a single. So Sakib moves along to 22. And I wonder what these two Catalonia CC players are out here thinking when they're playing with their arch rivals on loan. But they're doing a great job at the moment.
Yeah, I have to point out though, I mean, just see his delivery. It's just a chance here, and it's well taken. And it's Nadeem Hussain, I believe, who's taken that catch.
Yeah, he's got his revenge on the Mac, didn't he? Does the youngster on the boundaries. It's a pretty good shot, actually. The Mac, he didn't really go after it, did he? He kind of half hit it, came out of the middle. And so, again, a big wicket. And that could be a game changer. What I love about this short format of the game is you get all these momentum shifts, don't you, in the game? And you saw here, every time it looks like the Tigers are getting away, the Bengali team have the answer. And so a nice catch there from Nadeem Hussain. And we know they've been working hard on their fielding. And wouldn't you love to pick up the big Mac on your resume? And that's what Musharraf Hussain can say there. And a nice little cameo there from the big Mac. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of him in this Fan Code European Cricket Series.
No, definitely not. I was about to say, I mean, we said he's playing for the Tigers, but he was still wearing his Catalonia CC cap, wasn't he? The bright yellow cap.
So it's highly controversial.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the end of the overs. Omar Ali to bowl. The next one, and swing and a miss from Sakib. We've seen consecutive wickets a few times today, haven't we, Rico? And there was another chance of one there as Sakib has decided, you know, we've got 3 overs to go. It's time to see what happens. Omar again coming around the wicket to Sakib. This is short, and this one is punished. Well, I hope that ball has a passport, because I think it might have left the European Union, Rico. That was short and absolutely creamed by Sakib Latif. And that's almost gone all the way over the baseball fence there. A huge strike from Sakib.
Oh, he's absolutely mullered this one, hasn't he? He's hammered it all the way over. I mean, that was big. We said Yasser Ali's first one was the biggest of the day. Well, that one takes top spot now. Fantastic hit.
I'll tell you what, that ball's going to need counselling if they're going to keep it in play. And Omar Ali, he's just dropped short a couple of times today, and he's gotten away with it, but he didn't get away with it that time. Let's see if he can come back. Round the wicket again. Well, this one's a chance. It's up in the air. Does the fielder get there? Doesn't quite. Just on his heels a bit there was Aladdin Siddiqui. And it was to his preferred side as a left armour, but he wasn't able to make the ground necessary to take the catch. So it's all happening here.
Yes, indeed. Shafiqur Rahman doing well there, the keeper. Good vision from him to stop the overflows. Now this man, Razak Ali, he's always impressed me. I don't think we've seen the best of him. Good little bowler.
Well, he gets his opportunity here as Omar comes in, and he starts with a drive down the ground. It'll be just a single. And I do like this game again. We could have seen a huge total in the way it was going, but I do think it's going to be something around that kind of probably 110 mark, maybe 120. And if they really get going, and I think that Bengali will fancy their chances, but they'll have to bat well. As Omar Ali comes in again. It's a false start. And Rico, how many do you think Bengali will be comfortable chasing down, and how many do you think's probably something that's out of their reach?
I mean, I know Adler very well, and every time I've spoken to him, it's always 100. You know, whenever they're out there, they want to restrict the team to 100. He knows the capabilities of his own squad. So yeah, I think if they can keep them at 100 and under 100, they'll be absolutely delighted with their performance here. And you can see they're giving it everything behind, hard working.
Yeah, and these last 2 overs, they're going to be crucial, aren't they, as we head into the final stanza of this innings. Last ball of the 8th over. It's Omar Ali. Oh, this is miss hit. It's up in the air. The short-term man's going to come around. He's not going to make it. So again, a let off there, and it's what you've got to do at this stage of the innings. That's the end of the 8th over. It's all the 8s, 2 fat ladies. 88 for 3 after 8 overs in the Fancode European Cricket Series Match 2.
Yeah, well, disappointed there. You see that last ball, he sort of hands on his hips saying, really, what do I have to do to get a wicket here? I mean, he could have had 2 in that over. The ball's gone in the air, but just dropping short of the fielder. And that's a tricky one, isn't it, Vinny, in this series, because you're conscious of trying to stop the boundary. So you can see even the men that are inside, they're right on the ring, aren't they? You haven't actually got anybody who's sort of 10, 15 yards in, which, if that person is there, he's taking those catches.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Mosraf coming back onto his 2nd and final over, and the 9th over. This is pitched up. He goes for it, throws his hands at it, goes behind point, and just get the single in the end. Not really hustling between the wickets there was Razakat Ali, so they'll just get the single. Nice bit of fielding. They got to 89, so only 11 balls left. And really enjoying the action. I know a lot of people are missing it after a couple of months off, and just rest sometimes, don't we? But we're going to almost, well, we never had more matches in a series than this series, 124 in Spain, but we're planning over 1,000 matches on the European Cricket Network this year. As Mosraf Hussain comes in again. This is a nice ball pitched up on the wickets, and all Saqib can do is drag it to Omar Ali at long on, and a single. And you know what, that last over from Omar Ali, he went for 6 off the first ball, but it was a great comeback. He only let 4 singles and a dot in the last 5 balls that over. So again, just holding them, look like they might get away as the next ball wraps the batsman on the pad. Keeper's going to have a go, but safely home. I think that'll be a leg by. So again, only singles, and I was talking about 120, but now it looks like they might not even get to 110 at this stage. But it really depends. We've seen 1 or 2 big blows make all the difference, don't they? And that score really can change quickly. But Mosraf's been pretty good today. Yet to concede a boundary. Only singles.
One ball again, right up there. Good chase with the fielder. I thought the man on the boundary there, a little bit show, getting round to back up the fielder.
I thought I put the mocker on him there because I said he's only conceded singles. It was only a 2 in the end. I thought it might be a boundary. But yeah, Hussain is a valuable player for them. We saw him open the batting for them in the first game, and he probably will do the same in this game. So Mosraf Hussain, he's been very valuable in taking what is now 1 for 8 with 2 balls remaining in his quota.
Yeah, I think Saqib Latif, 31 of 16, I think he's going to go for the big one here. I've got this feeling.
You don't really get the opportunities. There's a nice ball on his toes. He flicks it away, and it's going to hit the baseball mound. And that was a nice bit of fielding. That can't have been easy. I think I probably would have been trying to get the ball before it went over that baseball mound. It's one of the quirks of playing here at the Montjuic Olympic Ground, where of course we saw baseball played at the 92 Olympics. But that takes the score to 94 with a ball to go in the 9th over, so 7 balls to go. And Saqib, like he has played a good inning for the strike at some point. Off. So that was another great over from Mosraf Hussain, who only concedes 10 off his 2 overs while picking up a wicket, and at the end of 9 overs it's 95 for 3.
Yeah, fantastic spell of bowling that. 10 runs of his 2 overs. He's got the wicket as well, really keeping the pressure on and doing exactly what the captain Ray's Howdler would want his team to do. I mean, the score now 95, 3 wickets down.
Well, I mean, you would think they'd make 100, but nothing's taken for granted. I think we've seen that so far. Yeah. It's a bit of work from the captain, leading from the front, just making sure he got down, wasn't taking any chances, and giving that ball a nice warm hug on this winter's day in Barcelona to take the 4th wicket for his team.
Yeah, he did well. I mean, when he got up again, you could see he was struggling again with his back. Now, this is obviously going to be a little bit of a worry for Bengali, because he's a key player for him, and in day one in a in a series that's got a long, long way to go and a lot of cricket to be played. You can see him there, he's still doing a little bit of work to it. He's going to have some work and a little bit of TLC on that back of his.
Yeah, and look, it's a key first match. We'll probably do the same in this game. As we've got 5 balls left, and this is a swing and a miss. The batsman did cross last time, so we've got the new batsman in here. Shazab Akram is the new batsman. But it was a big, old windy woof and not able to make contact. So, Saqib, I mean, without him, we haven't scored many, to be honest. We had a couple of fits and starts, I suppose, from Yasser Ali and the Big Mac, but Saqib shoulders, but not just yet, as Omar Ali comes in and has a false start. But you know, it's going to be interesting with 4 balls to go.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show also, Vinny, the importance. If any team, if you can get those top 3 out in the Catalonia Tigers, then you know, then you've got every chance of restricting them to a score like this and going out there and knocking them off.
This is down the leg side. I felt like that flicked the pad, and yeah, it's signalled leg byes. So. Not a great result there for Bengali, but at least they won't have to re-bowl that delivery, and they do save themselves a run because it wasn't 5 wides, instead it's 4 leg byes. So they'll move on to 99 with 3 balls to go. Again, Latif just trying to sneak outside the off stump to open up that leg side. This time he stands still and hits it well, and hits it. I think that's gone all the way. Just waiting on the umpire, and it is. It's a Maximo to Saqib Latif, who just stands still this time, slightly opens up that front leg, and he hit it flat and hard. And although the fielder there did his best, he was not able to get it to him. Modelad there at long off, so a couple of deliveries to go. This is a miscue from Saqib. They're going to think about trying to get back to the keeper's end, but they'll only get the single.
Yeah, the 100's been passed, so that's the first mindset, isn't it, for the batting side? Get to 100, so they've gone past that. It also puts a bit of pressure on Bengali when they're batting. They'd love to be able to send this one to the boundary.
Last ball of the innings, 106 to score. He has a bit of a dance, and he'll get 1, and it may go for 2, but this is poor cricket really from Saqib there. He wasn't watching the ball, and there's a misfield, but they weren't to take advantage. So that after the 10 overs, Catalonia Tigers have scored 107 for 4. That means that Bengali will require 108 for victory off their 10 overs in match 2 of the Fancode European Cricket Series Spain. You're watching on the European Cricket Network, whether you're watching on Fancode in India or on our YouTube channel, wherever you're watching around the world. It's great to have your company on the European Cricket Network, and we have a look at some of the highlights of the first innings of this match. And it was Mosraf Hussain doing some great work on the mid-wicket boundary as he took 2 catches of key players. It looked at one point like the Catalonia Tigers would be batting the Bengali team out of the game. Bengali in the field for a second consecutive inning after fielding second in match 1. And we saw that one. Well, that looked like that might cost him as well, Rico, as Omar, he's just saying, didn't see that one very well. And Nadeem Hussain, he had some good moments, but he also got some punishment.
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, you see this one was hit back up in the air and all the way. That was a big one. That one all the way to the nets behind us. I think this was his downfall. He went for the offside, picked out one of these youth players, and he's on his way back. A
Great finish. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you join us again in around 10 minutes here in Barcelona, Spain. This is the Fancode European Cricket Series Spain. It's great to have your company, and we'll see you shortly for the second innings of match 2 right here on the European Cricket Network.
Well, welcome back. You've seen a little bit of light drizzle in the air. Nothing too serious. Hopefully it will pass. It's nice, clearer, brighter skies behind us. The umpires are making their walk out, so Admiral Khan and Salim Suleiman. And just to remind you, thanks to a nice knock from Saqib Latif there, not out at the end, 41 of 22 balls. 108 is the target that the Catalonia Tigers have roared to. They got off to a great start. Yes, here Ali, 27 off 9 balls. He was on a mission. Hit 4 sixes in that, and then he was supported well. Number 3, Mohammed Afghan Khan, 25 of 18. So after that, he dried up a little bit, but Saqib Latif, a little bit of a cameo towards the end, helped to get over the 100 mark. And well, Bengali have got it all to do. It's not their strength, the batting, they won't mind me saying that. But well, they'll be hoping a good performance once more from Shafiqur Rahman, who in their first game earlier today scored 42 of 23. If he can get into some sort of form and be supported by 1 or 2 others, Omar Ali is quite a destructive player. The young man bowls well, he can hit the ball well as well. So they want a good start. Power play, most important for them. This is Rico Fool, and joined by my man, Mr. Maximo himself, Vinny.
Yeah, thanks very much, Rico. And second match of 124 here in the Fancode European Cricket Series Spain. And what a morning's play we've seen so far. We saw the first game go down to the wire, only 4 runs separating Bengali with the men in blue. And now we have potentially another very exciting run chase, as they need to get 108 to Bengali here, and I think these openers, they have a lot of responsibility in getting them a lot of the way there. I see Omar Ali and Musharraf Hussain opening the batting, and I think it's going to be Kamran Nawasahi to open the bowling for the Catalonia Tigers team. And again, power play all important. We've seen a couple of power plays, with the exception of the innings we've just seen, but in the first game, they weren't really taken advantage of by the batsmen. And I think the start of this 107, it's the kind of score, it could look very big or very small depending on how the first couple of overs go. So, Rico, I think we're in for potentially another tight contest.
I think we are. I mean, it's all down to a good start. I mean, interesting to see. I think our young man, unless I'm mistaken, is that... so we got... Is that Omar Ali?
I think it's Omar Ali.
Yeah, Omar Ali.
He's taking strike.
He's taking strike, yeah.
We've got Kamran in to bowl the first ball of the second innings. It's pushed watchfully into the leg side, so Bengali off the mark immediately. And Omar Ali saw him drop a catch in the field. His bowling being a bit inconsistent, to say the least, but he is principally a batsman. He's up there at the top of the order to do a job for Bengali, and he'll really want to take advantage of this power play and get them on the way to this target of 108.
Mushraf Hussain about to receive his first ball.
Again, just a nice seed here from Cameron Waisahi. There's a little bit of movement, it seemed, and it's difficult to extract any movement out of this pitch because it's a wooden base with a carpet overlay, and so he'll be happy with that start. Mushraf Hussain was very good in the field, taking 2 important catches, and it was those wickets, Rico, which just kept Bengali in the game here and kept them down to a chaseable target.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see this delivery here.
Well, this is outside edge this time, and it evades the keeper. It's running down towards the boundary, a big effort there, and I don't think he has stopped it. It's gone all the way for 4 runs, 4 carreras. And we've talked about this outfield being not particularly fast at this time of year. It's very spongy, and you see that one is rolled on the ground, and you don't often have a slip in T10 cricket, but if you did, that might have been straight to him. But 4 runs and 4 valuable runs for Bengali.
Yeah, looking at that again, Vinny, I think he played that very well. I think he had that under control.
Yeah, maybe I didn't give him credit there. It seemed like a genuine edge, but now they actually bring a slip in, trying to discourage that stroke. That's Yasser Ali coming into slip for the Tigers. Just trying to keep warm. Yeah, a bit brisk, a little bit of rain falling in the interval. Asahi comes in again, and a nice ball. This is difficult to score off early in the innings. And so this Bengali run chase is important that they stay on course, and they kind of might be looking at this 10 and over benchmark. You know, don't want to fall too far behind that. They need just over that, but you can always make up a few later in the innings. But I think they don't want to fall too far behind that mark. And I think this is already a very interesting game, so I don't think we need a pogey in this game. It's more for a lopsided game, a point of getting interesting rate. But we got Zahi in again. This one's watchfully played down behind point. Just the single, but you know what I mean, Rico, with these chases, sometimes be a bit too cautious early not to lose wickets.
Mate, you're spot on. I mean, just look at that first game. Men in blue, they only lost the 1 wicket. Both batsmen, 50 odd not out, 40 odd not out. It means nothing if you don't win the game. You've got to get on to a good start, and the men in blue didn't have that. And they left it too much to do at the end. And despite having 2 men in form, hitting the ball and seeing the ball well, they couldn't get there.
Yeah.
So a good start is very, very important. The power play, all about the power play for me, Vinny. You need at least 30 off the first run.
That's what we're looking to do here. Last ball, the first over. This is short and punished. It's over long, over the fence for a Maximo.
¡Qué bueno, qué fuerte! Vale, ahí está joven Omar Ali. Puede jugar, eh? That was hit well.
Yeah, well, 12 off the first over and a fantastic finish. And we saw the kind of margins here are so fine, because if that goes for a dot, that's 6 off the over, and you'd have to say that was the advantage Catalunya Tigers. But the big Maximo over the fence off the last ball of the first, and you'd have to say Bengali take the honours in the first over. They get over that 10, ahead of the rate, and that's just the confidence builder that they need. And Omar Ali, will that be the shot that sparks his innings?
Yeah, we're just seeing there the captain of Catalunya Tigers, Ghulam Sawa. I have a lot of time for him, Vinny. He's a lovely man anyway, but I like his captaincy style. You'll see as the game goes on, he's always talking to his players, his bowlers, he's always in the game. And I like to see that. And he's also very cool, he doesn't get panicked very easily either.
Well, it's another Ghulam Dasgia, who is going to open the bowling. His left arm, orthodox.
That's well hit, it's coming your way, Vinny.
I got it. That is straight through my legs, nutmegging me in 4 runs. And a nice stroke down the ground by Mostaraf, and he's got his innings going now. And they move along to 16 after the first ball of the second over.
Yeah, that was a lovely shot, good timing, lovely footwork. Now, what's the reply going to be from Ghulam here?
Let's see if he takes it up a notch now. Mostaraf faces again. This is shorter and beaten outside the off stump, is Hussain. And a good comeback. That was a little bit flatter. And you can see the hat backwards. It would have been unthinkable a couple of years ago, bowling the hat backwards with the Bart Simpson look, but this is the world we're living in these days. So it's 1-1 so far this over for me. Let's see what the third ball brings. Just short and edged away and stopped eventually by the backward point, just the single. And we talked about it before, Rico, but these two, so important that they set up a good foundation to keep Bengali in touch with this match, and it'll be a very memorable win for them should they be able to achieve this 108 runs.
Yeah, definitely. And alrighty, he's certainly going to go for it. I think seems to take the bat one way, and that's all attack. Here we go again.
Oh, he's bowled! And he's gone straight through him between bat and pad. No real footwork there from the youngster, Omar Ali. He wasn't able to negotiate that delivery from Gulam Daskia. So, a very useful wicket there for the Tigers, just what they needed. And after the fourth ball of the second over, it's 17 for 1.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, it's almost like he just didn't pick it. He didn't move, stood absolutely still, no movement at all. Well, I wouldn't say it did that much, maybe a little bit of movement away from him, but that just didn't get any movement there at all. And then that slight movement backwards, seeing the ball rocket onto his stumps. He's on his way back. And I was just saying before that ball, Vinny, he's a batsman that likes to attack, and I think that's what he needs to stick to. He didn't attack that one, went straight through it. He's knocked the stumps over. Prize wicket for Catalonia Tigers.
Yeah, and you know, Rico, that's not a bad tactic, I think, opening with a spinner, because some of these opening batsmen, they prefer the ball coming onto the bat, and you see there, his footwork wasn't quite there, just got a couple of little shuffles, but it was a fantastic ball anyway. You've got to be accurate, and you've got to kind of attack yourself as a bowler. The batsman always going to be attacking, but you need to attack. You need to attack the stumps.
Yeah.
And it looks like we've got Shafiqur Rahman coming in again at number 3. He was their top scorer in the first game. And again, he'd be a big key. I think 3 and 4 here. We've got probably Howlander coming in next, and they've got a big job to do if they're going to get this target of 108. As Daskia comes in again. Spin that time. Very optimistic appeal. That's on pitched well outside leg stump, I think. But nice start again. After going for a boundary off the first ball of the over, he's come back and only given up a single and taken a wicket. Decides to dispense with the hat now for the last ball. Of course, the umpire's not allowed to take the hat, of course, in most cricket these days. Last ball of the over. This is cut away in front of point, a lovely looking stroke there, and that's going to go all the way. So, Shafiqur Rahman getting things going with a nice looking back foot drive through the offside, and after 2 overs is 21 for 1.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. Need more of that. That went like a bullet. No chance for the captain. Ghulam Sarwar cutting that off. It's a good shot and good end. They did lose a wicket, but in terms of runs, they've got the runs running, and well, these two, if they can get set, it's an important partnership here now for Bengali Cricket Club.
Yes, and you'd have to say, you can see a man in form there. His confidence is high after the first game when he provided a valuable contribution for his team. But we're going to see Kamran Nawaz Sahi bowl out his second over, the final over of the power play, the third over coming your way. And again, just that last boundary, keeping him above that rate, that 10 over I talked about, which is kind of mental kind of gauge on how you're going in this run chase. As we see Sahi coming in again, third over, and it's short outside of stump, missed by the batsman. And Mosrab is saying he'll be a bit upset to have missed out on that one, because on the offside, don't have anyone back on the boundary. They're 2 outfielders, a deep mid wicket and a deep backward square leg. So no real protection on that offside. And again now. Good one again, and Rico, I tell you what, these are gifts short outside off stump. With only the 3 men in the circle there protecting the offside. He'll be very upset to have missed out on a couple of boundaries there.
Yeah, he's backing away, isn't he? Backing away as the ball's coming in. He's basically taking himself out of the reach of the shot. He's got to stand still. And I'm pretty sure that this one from Nawazi will be exactly in the same spot.
And it is. Does get some bat on it this time. Get through just for a single. So again, the ebbs and flows and the momentum. You know, we saw a couple of boundaries in the last over and Bengali coming back into the game, but then Catalonia Tigers reasserting their dominance here in the third over. So this is the man though, Rahman. He's in form. I don't think he'll be missing out on too many. Sahi again, a nice looking shot, but it was straight at one of those fielders we talked about. Unlucky not to pick a gap there, but they will get through for a single. But this is a good over so far from Kamran Nawaz Sahi with .1-1. So again, just putting the brakes on and making his target look a little bit bigger than it is. 2 balls remain in this over then for Sahi. Comes in for the Tigers. Worked away cleverly. Beats that close in fielder. They're going to come back for 2. Good running there from the batsman. Score moves along to 25 with a ball to go. And Rico, this last ball of power play again, all important. We're talking about this 10 and over. And what are we at? 25 here with the ball to go. So a boundary would make all the difference. And this is the last ball with the field up as well.
Yeah, it keeps the competition alive, doesn't it? They can get that, get a boundary here. You're almost 10 and over, and you know that somewhere along the line there's that one magical over where they can really accelerate. Well, he's gone for it, missed out on it. Well bowled again, Nawazi. He's kept his line consistent, and he's kept it outside that off stump. Every so often he puts it in a little bit shorter, keeps the batsman guessing. And now there's another batsman. This now Hussain is now down.
Yeah, well, end of the over. That's 25 for 1 after 3, and. Yeah, you'd have to say he went for the big shot, didn't he, there in the last ball of the power play. Wasn't able to take advantage of that, but again, these middle overs are going to be so crucial. Overs 4, 5, 6 and 7. It will just determine how much work they have to do in the last couple of overs. Now, just a reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're not, you can join our YouTube chat, and we can have a bit of a chat to you in there. So it's great to see some people in there. KG1 we mentioned earlier is fantastic that you're watching, and Luke Belgium as well. And we've had Mark Lovell piping up as well, which is great that you're enjoying the T10 action here. So don't be afraid to ask us a question in that YouTube chat. We'll get to them whenever we can. It's going to be Dusky to bowl out then the 4th over, his 2nd and final. Down he comes, and this won't carry all the way to that short 3rd man. And they will take the single on this occasion.
Yeah, that was cheeky, wasn't it? Cheeky. Good vision.
Yeah, I think it was there. And it wasn't an easy take for the fielder, spinning away off the surface.
Just looking at this field here, still opting not to have anybody sweeping on the offside. Remember, we are now out of the power play.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision, isn't it? Obviously, encourage them to hit over the top. They don't want to give away too many easy runs. Really gambling to turn the screws on Bengali here. Shoots through.
Excellent backing up there.
Yeah, that could be a buy, or perhaps could have been a little under edge there. So it might be 1 run, I think, in the end. But yeah, it didn't shoot through, and for that reason, the batsman only getting a thin bottom edge on it. But this is Rahman, top scorer in the first game. It's a crucial time of the match here. Nicely played. Goes to the Big Mac. It's pretty good fielding for a man in his advanced years and advanced stage of his career. Got down pretty well, but just a single again, just the singles. And singles are the Tigers' friends here, because every single pushes that rate up slightly. You can see it's already over 12 and over. And I think that once it gets above, maybe my point of no return here is probably about 15 or 16 and over. I think if it goes up that high, I just can't see them bringing it back. Just here, hit again. This is well bowled, actually shoots through. And I said earlier in the day that the pitch could provide a bit of assistance to the spinners, not so much in turn, but just in variable speed when it bounces, if that makes sense. So it's an interesting surface play quick one, that's for sure. This time blasted away off the back foot. Lovely looking shot there from Mosharraf Hussain. That is 4 runs through cover, and that takes the score along to 32. And Rico certainly hit this one out of the middle of the bat.
Ah, that was juicy, wasn't it? That was juicy. But once more, it's that, well, they haven't, I was just about to say, not a man patrolling on the boundary, but now the captain himself decides that he does need to be there.
Yeah, I think that was inevitable, that when the ball did get hit through there, you have the ability to push the man back. And so it is the skipper, Sawa, who goes back onto the long off boundary. Last ball of the over. Big swing from the batsman, but no contact. That's the end of the over. It's 32 for 1 after 4.
Yeah, I think Laskia thought he had his man there in the 2nd wicket. Did everything right. He floated it up. He enticed the batsman to go for the shot. Strike was saying, missing it, but thankfully for him and for his team, Bengali, the ball, well, missing the spot, but not much. Good finish to the over from him.
Yeah, and it certainly was. And it's did well to keep his foot in the crease, to be honest. He's had a couple of undisciplined strokes off the last ball of overs, I should say. But I mean, this is the thing. The right amount of aggression is sometimes difficult because if you come off, it's good batting. If you don't, it's bad batting. But the decision process is the same, So we've got Razkat Ali who's coming to the attack now. This is hit well down to the skipper, Gulam Sawa, doing the fielding. They'll get one. So Razkat Ali, haven't seen a lot of him bowling. And we saw him batting a bit earlier, but you fancy him as a player, Rico?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him a few times. I mean, he bowls, line and length, he's there all the time, he keeps the batsman guessing. And I think, although he did have a little bit of a knock today, he didn't really time the ball well, he was trying to probably hit it too hard late on in the stage. A decent bat to come in and score you some quick runs. So yeah, I like to look at the guy. He's always asking the question of the batsman. I think that's a sign of a good bowler. And making the batsman play.
I think Rahman fancies him, and he tries here. It's hit very well down the ground. Sawa can't make it around to his right. It was a good effort, but it was just hit too well. And it goes all the way to the boundary for 4. That's cuatro carreras.
Yeah,
Bengali.
very well hit. It was flighted up there for him. Was he going to take on the challenge? Well, yes, he was. He's in good nick at the moment. 4 more to him and the total.
And again this time, and he had to be a bit more watchful this time. He gets just the single, so 39 is the score. Again, rain starts to fall here at the Montjuic Olympic ground, so slippery conditions out there. Razkat Ali pitches this one up, but it goes back and punches it through the cover region. They get one. Some indecision about a second, a big dive, but he makes it home. So 2 runs and good running. There was a little bit of indecision as they were trying to decide whether to come back for a second run or not, but they were able to get the second. So 41 the score.
A very good throw there as well. We've just seen them in the replay. How about that for a dive?
Oh.
Well, I think it's going to get a 10 from me for
I'll
that
tell you,
one.
we've seen a few, haven't we? It's not quite Olympic standard diving we've seen today, isn't it? There's been a few big splashes in the pool, but it's great to see the kind of commitment, of course, like Bengali. Imagine if they could get 2 wins out of their first 2 games and go to the top of the table.
He held that back well with a bit of flight.
And that's the end of the over. It is 41 for 1 after the 5th over. So at the halfway point of this run chase, there's a little bit of rain around. I was consulting, but I don't think it's strong enough, or heavy enough, I should say, to stop play. Hopefully we don't have rain coming into the equation today. But it's a very interesting point of the game anyway. We have 66 off the last, or 67 off the last 30 balls, I think. Just doing my calculations here.
But while your brain's working away, this will be interesting because the captain's coming on. Gulam Sawa, he just gently tosses the ball up there. So he's really going to be, well, there you go.
Well, he's tossed it up. It's got a half a chance. It's tapped over the bar by the fielder teaming wicket. And that goes for a Maximo, an assistant Maximo.
That was Nawazi there. I mean, he was quite lethargically stuck his hand out. I mean, I thought maybe he could have done a little bit better. Perhaps stopping the ball going over the rope for 6 and saved the 6 and maybe not taking the catch. But yeah, I mean, this is what Sawa does. He just tosses it up there, uses a bit of flight, but he relies on his fielders. And on that time, I think your fielder's let down.
This one's quick out, but it's pulled out, picked by the batsman. And the fielder this time does a good job there. It's Cameron Nawasahi at deep mid-wicket and keeps it to 1. But that 6 just keeps him in the game. I feel like this rate's starting to get a little bit out of control. We've seen it above 13 and over. And they do need to keep picking up these boundaries. Otherwise, this game is going to slip away from them much quicker than they realise. Sawa, and again, this is tossed up. He tries to whack it away, but he just misfielded it on the square leg boundary. Oh, and I tell you what, we've had the good, the bad, and the ugly from Cameron Nawasahi this over. The ball's following him around, and I tell you what, there's not much social distancing between him and the ball this over because it's come to him 3 times, and it's not even the 2 out of 3 ain't bad that Meatloaf talked about. He's only been able to stop one of them, that one sneaking through, and now, tell you what, he's decided that maybe deep mid wicket's not for me, and he's going to go over to the offside of the field. Smart play, and that brings up the 50 for Bengali after 5.3 overs.
Yeah, the captain said, I'm not having this, you're moving, buddy. And he comes again.
It's the full toss. It's a gift, really, and it's in the same region. But this time, it is Razkat Ali doing the fielding at long on, hitting the edge of the pitch. And again, that's one of the quirks of the European circuit here in the Fancode European Cricket Series in Spain. Sometimes the ball hits the edge of the pitch and there's a chance to run. It's just another thing that makes the game more exciting. But a good over so far for Bengali with 12 off it. That's kind of the minimum they need off these overs. They want another boundary in these last 2 balls.
Yeah, I think this one is going, Vinny. I've got a feeling.
He tries hard and throws the kitchen sink at it, but all he does is get a Spanish drive down to short fine leg for 1 run. Score moves on to 54.
Yeah, I think Shafir Rahman, he knows that a lot is lying on his shoulders, and he's got to try and up this run rate a little bit to get them back in it.
This is a big ball for me, last ball of the 6th over. He goes for it, he goes up, he goes high, he goes long, and that is a Maximo.
Yeah, high and mighty, that's what they needed. Well, the captain put himself on. Ghulam Sarwan was probably hoping that some of the slow stuff may get him a wicket. There was an opportunity, but he didn't quite get it. There was the one hand from Nawazi. Nawazi, the ball followed him 3 times. The first 3 balls went to him. The catch, well, if you're very harsh, you'd say he dropped the catch and it went for 6. Second one, he made a good stop, and then the third one, a glaring misfield, and the captain decided he's going to move him. But the captain then didn't help himself. He put it up there, but the batsman were up for the challenge. It's game on here.
Oh, it is, and 60 for 1 to the score after 6 overs. And back at that 10 and over, Rico, we talked about it before. The 10 and over kind of benchmark for this target. Of course, they need a handful more than that, a couple of hands full, I suppose, 108. But we've got Yasser Ali coming on, and he is quite a crafty little off-spin bowler. And we've got down to the point where we're back at 2 a ball here, 48 off 24 balls required. It's pushed through by Ali, and it'll be just a single, 5 wides.
Well bowled again, disguising that shorter ball, making it a bit slower. As was saying, did well to keep his eye on it. He moves on to 33 of 24 balls.
Yes, he's paid a handy knock here. In fact, both these batsmen just doing enough to keep them in the game. They don't leave too late. Yasser Ali not easy to away on this pitch as well, the way he pushes them through, especially at the bit of range, just going to skid off the surface. So Yasser Ali, can he pick up a wicket for the Tigers? This one is quite fast and tucked off the pads, but they're 7 for 1 there, so up to 64. And I tell you what, they need this 10 and over. They don't look like getting in this overs. Yeah, Ali's given them nothing to work with. I think you always need to make the running here. Play him a bit more like a medium pacer, because he's not really looking to throw the ball up or turn the ball. Comes in again now. This one has a bit more flight, and he's bowled. Yes, well done, Yasser Ali. That one, he just changed the pace up a little bit. It was a little bit more flight and luring the batsman with the stroke. He missed. Yasser Ali hit, and a wicket for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's good bowling. You see the turn on that. You don't probably see it from that replay from that angle. You see it from the other angle. A lot of rip there. And yeah, he's got his man. And that's clever bowling because he's bowled. Well, look at the variation in that over. He's put the full one in. He's bowled a couple of short ones. All right, one of them he got the line wrong. Wide, and then that one, that's an absolute beauty. Well bowled for this stage of the game when you know the batsmen have to take you on. Only 4 runs so far that have come off this over, so they really had to go for it. 1 ball to come, pressure on, they need a big hit, need a big shot, a lot of pressure on the new batsman. Interesting here now because you've got a man that's set, Shafir Rahman again, 23 of 13. What's the idea here, Vinny? Either hit hard or give him the strike. It's difficult, isn't it?
Well, I think you've got to err on the side of aggression. But I mean, it's almost got to take what you're given though as well, because you've got this 1 ball, this over, 1 ball left in this 7th over. And look, if they're going to win the game from here, it's going to have to be both batsmen that have to contribute. So Riyaj Howard, look, he may you want to get some runs off this, I'd say. First ball, it's the last ball of the over. Decides to take a single. And I think that's good batting. I mean, I just think at this point of the innings, it's okay to give yourself a little bit one of them. That's the end of the over, and it's 65 for 2. And again, another great finish coming up, but with 43 required off the last 18 balls, it's not going to be easy. 14 and over required. And in fact, it actually, it reminds me of a game in Eski Vindorf in the ECL, where Catalonia CC were fielding, and they, the other team, Eski Vindorf, required 14 over the last 3 overs, and then bang, 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 bang. The Vindorf batsman went crazy and won the game with a couple of overs to spare. So I wonder if we can see that kind of a finish. But look who's coming into the bowling crease right now. You know I'm getting excited. And I'm just writing on my score sheet in front of me, M-A-K. Here we go. Now, I'll tell you what, when I'm watching Mohammad Ahmed Khan bowling in the Vancouver European Cricket Series, he doesn't mind a short ball. But I don't know how it's going to go here, because I think if he bowls it too short, the kind of length that I've seen him trying to bowl, then he might get the treatment. But let's see. It's veteran to veteran. It's a nice shot here from Raj Harlada. Just get one run. And again, singles are handy, but they're not really enough to keep up with the rate. It's almost an overthrow there, but this is the man, Shafiqur Rahman. I think the game's in his hands, and particularly these 5 balls. This is his chance to get them within reach of the target, because at the moment I just feel the game is slipping away here for Bengali.
Yeah, they need a big over. Now they're going to take on the big Mac to get that big over. Well, we'll see. One of the first.
And that's good bowling from the Mac there, wicket to wicket. Again, it's not easy to play a crossbat stroke on this pitch, because they do skid through sometimes. So another single. So 41 off 16 balls. You can see there 2.5 a ball. This is almost at my point of no return. We're talking about this 15 and over mark. Once you get over there, I think it's hard to get back. They need to do something quickly.
A little bit wide, just looking at the umpire. Let's look at each other, so you know.
I think that's it, and you just see the difference here. You know, Bengali in their first game scoring 87, and in this game needing those extra 20 runs. And they look on target to get about the same kind of score, don't they? Yeah. Probably something around that in the mid-80s kind of mark. But if they're going to win this game, they're going to need to do something very quick. He advances, he tries something, and it's given a wide. So look at that one again. Almost chance of stopping there. He's so far out of his crease, he had trouble getting back, and he doesn't have the longest arms in the world, does he, Raj Harlada? But he gets away with that one, and they'll get on re-bowl.
Yeah, Almagan doesn't get away with it. He's having a chat with the umpire there, and he's go back saying, really, wasn't that the same as the last one? But anyway, he has to bowl it again.
This is a nice shot, but he's picked out the fielder. It'll be just the single, and possibly some buzzers.
I tell you what, if that was the direct hit, he was on his way for me. We'll see that.
Oh no, that would get out around. He's hitting the stumps. The ball's hitting the stumps. They're going to get back for 2. Did we get someone? Oh, we had it. That was madness, wasn't it? Someone sanitised those stumps, because everyone was all over them. And the ball came in. It's comical, really. But in the end, they get 2 runs.
Get back there. A bit of comedy there. I mean, this initial one, I mean, nice.
Look at this.
Yeah.
And then he's taking his time.
You didn't see the first time, but the first one, direct hit, he was on his way.
I was. Absolutely. And here's the Big Mac again. This is short and pulled away. Nice looking shot. But again, picking out the fielder. Is he going to stop it? Oh, and he hasn't. It's gone all the way for 4 runs. So again, just keeping Bengali in the game with a couple of costly fielding errors here in the 8th over. You can see that one.
Zahir there, I mean, that was criminal there. You saw it, the ball was coming to him, but he was charging into it. And the momentum of running in, he took his eye of it, it hit him and gone for 4 runs. If he just stood where he was, it would have been a comfortable pick-up and throw.
34 off 13 now. Look, it looks like a fielding error that's simple, but it is very slippery out here and light rainfall in not easy conditions. This is well struck, but straight to the fielder and he's out.
Yeah, yes, here Ali, he's not going to drop those. Those are easy for him. And finally they get the wicket they needed. Just perhaps thinking that this partnership could cost them. They needed to break it. They haven't got the man. Then Jaman Shafiqur Rahman, who could change the contacts of this game, still there. But the captain, Race Hadler, is on his way back.
Yeah, and the 2 regular Catalonia CC players combining there to dismiss the batsman on that occasion. And Yasser Ali has really made an impact on the game in the last couple of overs with a very handy 7th over, then taking the catch to close out the 8th over. And now we have only 2 overs remaining, 34 required. They need a big over here, but this is the man that can do it. Shafiqur Rahman, just a couple of sixes to get Bengali back in the game, but he's only got 12 balls left. This looks like Tamjid Bapari coming in at number 5 once again. He showed he could hit last game as well. Ali comes in, toss this one up. It's big. It's got the legs. It's a Maximo all the way into the cricket nest for 6.
Oh, that's exactly what they needed here. Now I was about to say as well that Yasser Ali, he's going to be difficult to get away. Well, Sophia Rahman thinks otherwise and sends the first one straight over into the trailing net. Big 6. Here we go again.
Follow up again. This is Fuller, and I tell you what, that's well placed. That could go for 4. It's going to go all the way. The Big Mac couldn't make the ground. It goes for 4, and in a blink of an eye, this game changes again. That's 4 more, and now they require only 24 off 10 balls. And Rico was set for another cracking finish in the Fancode European Cricket Series Spain.
Unbelievable. 10 runs off 2 balls. We're right back in it. Yasser Ali, what you got?
Alright, well, 3 times the charm here. Game breaking here. This is shorter and cut away. He's got the job to do there at deep point, but he does well down there. That looks like the big opening bowler, Cameron Nawasahi. And so it's only the single, and I tell you what, if he'd missed that one, it really would have been game on.
Yeah, I think the captain had his heart in his mouth there when he saw that one going along the deck at some pace to Nawazi.
Ghulam's going to have a heart attack here at long off. If there's any more of these balls cracked to outfielders. This is Bapari. He goes up, he goes long, he goes Maximo. 6 of the best, and that's how you welcome yourself to the crease with a 6, keeping his team in the game. And can you believe it? Bengali, could they pull off a game after being well behind? It was pitched up. He went down, didn't have a chance to get his iron, and that's 6 of the best.
Oh, pressure on Ali. What's he got here? Fires one in. Bat on ball. They'll take the single. What a terrific over this is so far.
Now remember, we talked about these kind of last over finishes, and my theory is when it's 13 off the last over, then you always get a close game. Now at the moment we've got 16 off 7, and this is the last ball. Very important ball, but Bengali, they're in the game. Both these batsmen have shown they can clear the boundary as well. So Ali with his last ball, and he beats him outside of stump. It was clever bowling, he pushed it through. But again, not the worst, it's not the best result, but I tell you what, it does have Bapari on strike, and he's just hit a very good shot there. So they'll require 16 runs off the last over. And who's going to get it, Rico? Who do you think they're going to bowl the last over?
Well, looking around here, it looks like the Big Mac is going to take up the challenge. That last over game for 18. Yasser Ali, 23 of his 2 overs. He did pick up the 1 wicket, of course, but 18 of that over has brought this game alive.
Oh, and the Big Mac. I'll tell you what, you're getting me very excited early in this tournament. I don't know how many last 124 games here in Spain, but we do have Mohammed Afghan Khan, who's got 16 runs to defend, or 16 to win it for Bengali, 15 for a golden ball. Golden ball's been kind of hanging around, hasn't it, in the first couple of games? And this is a game on paper, you would have said, it was perhaps one-sided towards the Tigers, but Bengali really showing something and showed they've gone away, they've thought about their performance in the last series, and they are definitely giving the Tigers a shake here, and I don't know who I'm going for here, to be honest, really, Rico. I'm on the fence because this would be a memorable victory for Bengali if they were able to pull it off. And Matt comes in the first ball, and it's dragged down to long on. Bapari will just settle for 1, so it comes 15 off 5, and again, I'm batting, I'm thinking, what do I need to do to win the game? And I probably need, like we said last game, you probably need 3 boundaries, or perhaps you could get 2 sixes and scramble the rest. So there's only 5 balls to go, you need 2 or 3 boundaries. There's not much margin for error from the batsman's point of view, is there? Here's the Big Mac in again. Oh, this is a lovely shot all the way over point. That's going to go all the way. It's a Maximo, so 6 of the best. Can you believe it? And when the time came, Rahman was up to the challenge. And now the equation Swings in favour of Bengali. They need 9 or 4, and what a shot that was over backward point.
That was an amazing shot. I mean, we've seen him hit straight and big, but that was awesome. And that's really, really rocked the boat here now. So the Tigers, are they pressing the panic button here?
Oh, I tell you
4
what,
balls to go.
4 balls to go, 8. I've got the golden balls in the case again. It's 9 or 4. Matt goes full. It's a good ball. Now it's dug out. Now they could try for 2 here. Rahman, he turns for 1. And then just not going to get another one. Look, to be honest, that's probably a good decision because you don't really want a run out there at the keeper's end. Bapari has been batting well, but I did think Rahman perhaps could have run the first one a bit harder and tried to scrap it in the second because they did want to get him back on strike. We've got 8 off 3, 7 for the tie. Amgan Khan to Bapari, and it's a great shot off the pads. It's flicked all the way. I think it's gone all the way. And it has. It's a Maximo.
Shaba, Shaba. Qué bonito, qué guay. Es genial. Fantástico. Qué partido eso es.
Oh, well, would you believe it? And they've come from the bleachers here, have Bengali late in this game, and now they require only 2 runs off 2 balls, 1 for the tie. But I just tell you what, Rico, there's been so many twists and turns in this game. I wouldn't put it past there to be another one. So it's the Big Mac in again. And this is nudged away, and they're going to get a single. So we've got a last ball game here. The scores are tied. The scores are tied. Any run, and Bengali will win this game. But if it's a dot or a wicket, for example, if there's no score, then we will have our first golden ball of 2021 in the Fan Code European Cricket Series. And tell us how you're enjoying the action wherever you're watching around the world. We hope you're enjoying the Fan Code European Cricket Series here on the European Cricket Network. Certainly is interesting. And who are you backing here now? What's it matter what? Like, even if it goes to the keeper, you need to force him to make it out. But what I would say is on the golden ball, if you are dismissed, then you cannot face the golden ball. So again, you maybe don't want to have a crazy run out of Rahman or something here if they do miss it. So the Big Mac needing to concede 0 off this ball. And you know, he's just going to swing it, I reckon. But imagine if it goes up in the air or something like that. The pressure and the excitement here in the Fan Code European Cricket Series. Last ball, 1 to win. He swings. It's missed it. It's a miss. It's going to go all the way. It's going to go all the way for 4 runs. And that is the end of the game. Bengali CC win match 2 of the Fan Code European Cricket Series in a memorable encounter. It went all the way down to the wire, put the pressure on the fielder. He wasn't able to stop it. And in a heart stopper, match 2 of the Fan Code European Cricket Series, it's Bengali CC who win the match off the very last ball.
Absolutely fabulous. What a game. And that is what European cricket is all about here, this T10 format. Well, you gotta love it. We've had 2 great games, and that one is, well, right up there. And what about this man, Shafiq Rahman? Well, what a start he's had to this series, finishing on 46 of 21 deliveries, but more importantly, he's brought another win to his team.
I tell you what, I underestimated my point of no return because I thought 15 and over and above they couldn't do, but they just pulled out the boundaries when it was required, didn't they? And as we see, that last ball was incredible how it was straight at the fielder, basically, wasn't it? It was straight at him, or even fielded. Probably you'd expect to get a run out probably 8 times out of 10 out of that, but that's the pressure of the last ball. I think no one really wanted the ball to come out of that. So Bengali CC, they won both their games today by 4 runs, didn't they? With 4 runs in the first game, 87 to 83, and in this game, 111 to 107. So what a finish it was for Bengali CC in a match that you thought could be one-sided when you looked at the first couple of overs. We see some of the highlights of the second innings, and it was an interesting start, a bit of a subdued start for Bengali, but once they got going in over 6, which went for 19, it was the captain Dylan Sawa had the drop catch in and had their chances to put Bengali CC away, but Bengali timing their chase perfectly and winning it off the very last ball. And Rico, there was plenty of action in this match.
Absolutely superb. I mean, this is what this format is all about. You just never know. We always say about you get a bit of gold dust, and you know, all of a sudden the game's out, the run rate goes up. Then you get that one magical over, and they got that magical over. And it was that over, I think, against the experience of Yasir Ali, when he was taking apart there, 18 off that over, off that penultimate over, and then, Amgan Khan, he had 16 to play with. Do you think that would be enough? Well, what a start, and there was some superb hitting. And look at the dugout there of the Bengali Cricket Club. They were absolutely excited. They loved it, and why shouldn't they? Played 2-1-2, and more importantly, okay, men in blue, you would have expected them to win that, but they beat the team that we'd expect to be there in the finals.
Yeah, certainly is an incredible finish to match 2, and Bengali weren't they excited?